Hello, I'm Doug Keck, EWTN President and Chief Operating Officer. Welcome to our EWTN studios. As you can see, we're quite busy putting together a new lineup of Catholic programming for you. Our new season preview is next. Stay with us for the next half hour. We'll take a fresh look at new episodes of some of your favorite programs, along with a quick look at some exciting new series, specials, and documentaries coming this season. We'll also fill you in on the major church events coming your way. With 11 unique programming channels, EWTN is in practically every corner of the globe, in English, Spanish, and even German. In fact, virtually anyone who wants to can now access EWTN television and radio programming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the world. No other network brings you the complete wall-to-wall Catholic coverage of Pope Francis and the Church the way EWTN does. We'll be with Pope Francis every step of the way as he travels the world, including his upcoming trip to South America. This season, our ongoing coverage of 100 Years of Fatima continues, along with specials hosted by our own Father Joseph and the MFVAs. Here in the States, we're gearing up for the next EWTN family celebration in Worcester, Massachusetts. Join us in person or enjoy the festivities on air. Whether from our East Coast studios in Washington, D.C., our West Coast studio in Orange, California, Vatican City, or the Holy Land, we'll continue covering the important Catholic stories and events of interest to you. Wherever it's happening, whenever it's happening, you can count on EWTN to bring you the trusted Catholic context you've come to expect. EWTN News Nightly with Lauren Ashburn delivers the news 5 days a week, asking the questions others won't, covering the stories other networks don't.
As a journalist, I held people accountable. And that's what I want to do here. I want to hold government, politicians, leaders, moral leaders accountable for the actions that they take, and to do it in a way that gives our Catholic audience something new that they would not find anywhere else.
EWTN News Nightly with Lauren Ashburn, weeknights at 6 Eastern on EWTN.
The culture of life has a new voice. EWTN ProLife Weekly, a co-production of EWTN and the Susan B. Anthony List. Every week from Washington, D.C., Catherine Zeltner and a team of pro-life experts shine the light of truth on abortion, euthanasia, assisted suicide, and the culture of death. Not just a show, but a call to action.
There's so much happening in the pro-life movement at local levels, at state levels, and at federal and international levels. Viewers can tune into EWTN ProLife Weekly to find out what the latest is and how they can get involved, and who are really some of the pro-life heavy hitters out there, who are the names and faces that are making a difference. There have been so many pro-life strides in 2017 already, but there are still a lot of pro-life goals that haven't been accomplished, promises that President Trump said he would follow through on if he was named president. So we at EWTN ProLife Weekly will continue to monitor the latest pro-life legislation and hold our administration accountable to its pro-life promises. A really unique feature of EWTN ProLife Weekly is our call to action. It's a unique way that our viewers can get engaged in the pro-life movement each week and really make a difference. And we know from speaking with our congressmen that it is making an impact. Planned Parenthood and abortion lobbyists are really putting the pressure on, immense pressure on our lawmakers so that they cave on their pro-life views. So now we, as pro-lifers, need to make sure that our voice is heard more loudly and clearly than ever, so that they know that we are here and that we are watching and wanting pro-lifers to make a difference.
A Force for Good, an EWTN co-production with the Bush School of Business at the Catholic University of America, will be coming to you every week this season with host Dr. Jay Richards.
Our show, A Force for Good, is really taking shape nicely. I mean, we had from the beginning a vision both to integrate questions about business, talk about the ordinary stuff of business, but also to explain how business and the market fit with Catholic social teaching. Those of us at the business school at Catholic University are convinced that good business and good economics meshes with the teachings of the church, and in fact, the church has something positive to contribute to the conversation. Viewers should expect to see a variety of stories about people in the workplace. Everyone from a prominent CEO and entrepreneur who founded one of the largest wine companies in the world, to small, humble carpenters that construct with their hands caskets in the model of the casket that John Paul II was buried in. These are the sort of stories that we want to bring to life because we think it's in this sort of concrete details of human work that we see the dignity of human beings as creatures made in the image and likeness of God. As Catholics, we're called to make a difference in society and in the workplace, but to do that, we need to understand basic economics. We need to know how business actually works in the real world. And so we're not just going to tell stories, we're also going to talk to experts who are able to help us integrate the things of the faith with the things of the market, because that's where the rubber ultimately meets the road. And sometimes we need a little bit of help at least to know how to do that properly. The impact I hope for A Force for Good is first simply for everyday Catholics who are in the workplace, that they will have a renewed vigor and inspiration about the work that they do. Anyone who is doing with their lives what God wants them to do and doing it for God's glory and to the service of others, the dignity of work is seen in that and is real in that. And I hope that we're able to get viewers to interpret the work of others and the work of themselves in that light.
EWTN is in demand and on demand. Want to get answers to questions about our faith? Log on to our website at EWTN.com. EWTN is everywhere, and here's a guy that clearly knows more about it than anyone.
Hey, what are you watching?
EWTN, of course.
Oh, I love EWTN. How do you get it on your phone?
Well, easy. Download the EWTN app. It's free.
Well, that's handy. Well, what if I want to watch EWTN on TV with my family?
Ah, let me count the ways. You can go with Roku. Oh, and then there's Amazon Fire. Oh, let's not forget Apple TV.
Wow, this is great.
And of course, you can stream it from the website, EWTN.com.
You know, EWTN is everywhere.
Excuse me, that's my line.
Oh.
EWTN, it's everywhere. At home, on cable and satellite, on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV, and on the go with the EWTN app.
Along with our live event coverage, we've also got a brand new lineup of series and specials. Join us as we bring you complete coverage of the beatification of Father Stanley Rother, the first U.S.-born martyr, plus a special about his life. Look for new episodes of an EWTN Holy Land Experience with Father Joseph and Father Mark. Sister Helen Burns helps young people become digital Catholics. Life on the Rock returns with a new look and a new fast-paced format. You can get our great radio programming on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. We're now on over 500 radio stations worldwide, as well as Sirius satellite radio all over the U.S. and Canada. You can even tune in online to our live radio broadcasts on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn Radio. No matter when, no matter where, you can listen to EWTN Radio. Morning Glory, anchored by Brian Patrick every weekday at 7 a.m. Eastern, is your destination for truth you won't find anywhere else.
Catholic from the start is the theme of Morning Glory. You know, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing I want to remember is that I am a follower of Christ. That I want to put my life and my will into the care of God, of Jesus Christ. So Morning Glory is what we call a full-service radio show. We offer the news, the latest news. It's live out of Washington, D.C. The latest news, weather, sports, but always in the perspective of the Catholic faith. We have a godly council of priests with us every morning, a different priest each day. Gloria Purvis offers her morning musings, which always has a real deep spiritual message. We have dynamic interviews with newsmakers and always giving glory to God first thing in the morning. That's what Morning Glory does each weekday on EWTN Radio. We're really excited about Called to Communion with Dr. David Anders. This guy is a real intelligent psychologist, but he doesn't talk down to people. He talks directly with people. He connects with people. And as a convert, he could really speak the language of someone who might be thinking, why not become a Catholic? Dr. David has this respectful, gentle nature that really draws people out and opens their hearts to the uncompromising truth of the Catholic faith. Take Two with Jerry and Debbie is one of my favorite shows. These are two broadcast professionals, Jerry Usher, Debbie Georgianni, and when they chat, it's like two people chatting across the fence like you would with your neighbors. This is a show that really hits home for everybody, people of all ages, all walks of life, Catholics, non-Catholics, and we're invited to take a second look at situations in our life, at things that are going on in the world. Take a second look and see how we might bring Christ into this picture. So many of our EWTN radio listeners are really wanting devotions at all times of the day or night. So we have a channel that's specifically devoted to devotion and prayers. Whether it's the Rosary, the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, litanies, any time of day or night, you can participate in prayers and devotions on EWTN Radio Classics. That's EWTN.com/Radio Classics. EWTN Radio is a daily connection with our Catholic faith. We're not just Catholics for an hour on Sunday. We live our Catholic faith in our lives. I don't know about you, but for me, I need that reminder. I need to wake up with that idea that I'm a Catholic first, Catholic from the start. And I need to have that throughout my day. I need to be connected through prayers, devotions, stimulating conversations. EWTN Radio is that connection to my faith that must be my first priority.
EWTN is the home of quality original Catholic movies and documentaries. This season, our popular docudrama series, The Message of Fatima, continues, month by month, message by message, right up until October 13th for the anniversary of the Miracle of the Sun. From Portugal, we head to Australia. In November, we'll be featuring a series of shows from Down Under, including Discovering Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, Catholic Australia, and Shepherds Speak. Also coming to EWTN this season, a powerful new film about a military chaplain who gave his life for his faith and his country. He was called and chosen, Father Vincent R. Capodanno. Filmmaker James Kelty takes us behind the scenes of this new EWTN original.
Cameras rolling.
Capodanno, ready? Action!
Well, I really began wanting to tell the story of a chaplain. It just occurred to me that that was both a patriotic as well as a spiritual role.
Lieutenant, do you mind if I bless your troops today? Not at all, Father. Go right ahead.
The challenge was, since it's a contemporary story, so many of the people that knew him are still alive. Many people who knew him are still alive, including the vets that he served in Vietnam with.
Well, the first time I saw Father Capodanno was after he had helped me start up this hill. I didn't know who it was at first because I just saw a couple of hands reach down as I was trying to go up this steep hill. And I looked over and it was Father Capodanno. And it's like, what are you doing here? He was not supposed to be there with our company out in the field. He had snuck on board a chopper.
They all had their memories, they all had their special knowledge of him, but we have to interpret them in a story form with an actor, okay, and we had a wonderful one in James Hudson, and also Damian Ferreira, who played the young Capodanno. I knew we had a winner as soon as I met those two actors, and I knew we were on the right track to being able to do this thing the right way.
My name is James Hudson, and I played Father Capodanno.
Yeah. I'm going to be his chaplain's assistant. Because I speak Latin, you know, and was an altar boy, you know.
All my masses for the troops are in English, Corporal.
Well, my English is better than my Latin anyway.
We'll see about that. It's been an honor to portray him, and I prayed that I would portray him in a truthful way. The vets that are here helping me have been absolutely wonderful. I couldn't ask for anything more.
And I would have the equipment ready, the field packs ready, so whenever we went out on an operation, I had everything that you would need out in the field.
Okay.
And of course, he would always want to go on the first wave.
Of course.
So that was kind of scary, you know, but God was with us.
I'm just in awe of the person he was. And that was probably the biggest challenge for me, was to become someone so selfless and so giving.
What I learned from him was a very, very quiet patience and determination and deep faith that things would work out. That's what he told the men. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I thought what we really need to do is try and bring this man to life, and boy, that was going to be a challenge. But I found the right couple of guys to do it, I think. And we'll let the audience decide.
EWTN is a family, and families are social. Our Facebook page is still the best place to catch up on the latest that's going on here at EWTN. New shows, premieres, stories of faith and hope, along with photos and posts by our over 900,000 family followers. You can log on today and like us. We want to get to 1 million and show the world that faith is alive. You can also share us with your friends on Pinterest at pinterest.com/EWTN. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EWTN. You can even watch the programs you want whenever you want to with EWTN's YouTube channel at youtube.com/EWTN. For over 20 years, World Over host Raymond Arroyo has blazed a trail for other Catholic journalists to follow, with faith-filled analysis and commentary on world events, along with powerful, in-depth interviews with world leaders from all aspects of our culture. Always cutting edge, always thought-provoking, the World Over continues to take on the tough issues while shining the light of truth on all that is seen and unseen. Our weekly Vaticano program takes you to the heart of the Catholic Church with a comprehensive roundup of the week's events direct from the Eternal City. Get the latest news on the Holy Father and the Holy See and everything that's happening in Rome with Rome Bureau Chief Alan Holdren.
For me, as a person, as a Catholic, as a journalist, it's really important just to bring the truth to people. Vaticano is a weekly news program that tells people what's been going on for the past week in the Vatican. We always try to dedicate the very first third of the program to whatever the Pope has been doing. Second third, we try to tell people what's been going on in the Vatican. There's so many departments, more than 20. Each of them has a lot of exciting things going on, a lot of things that need to be explained. So we try to get explanations for news items that perhaps people have seen, but weren't able to fully process, perhaps. And then in the third segment of the program, we follow pilgrimages. We take a look at sacred music, sacred art, something a little bit lighter to really bring people to the beauty of the Catholic Church.
The National Catholic Register brings you award-winning journalism and investigative reporting, making this the true Catholic paper of record. You can also get the same great reporting and analysis on Register Radio. EWTN has online services that get over 3 billion impressions, reach 190 countries every year, and deliver Catholic news all day, every day in 5 languages through CNA, ASI Prensa, ACI Stampa, CNA Deutsch, and ASI Digital, as well as engaging interactive sites like Church Pop, Christian culture that's informative, inspirational, and fun. This season will be featuring new episodes of Catholics Come Home, stories of fallen away Catholics who have rediscovered the truth, wonder, and mystery of the Catholic faith. Father Joseph will continue to showcase great Catholic apostolates in the Church Universal. Who knows, you could find one that fits your spirituality. The Catholic View for Women welcomes a new host, Elena Rodriguez. She joins Janet Morana and Teresa Tomeo to talk out some of the hot topics facing Catholic women today. Dr. Ray Guarendi will help you nurture great kids, be a strong parent, and a loving marriage partner. He's on every week providing Christ-centered guidance and encouragement in a fun and entertaining way as only he can. Why not try Living Right with Dr. Ray and check out our new feature, Ask Mom. Dr. Ray sits down with moms of all ages to mine their wisdom and get their insights on their life and faith experiences. Drop by for a cup of coffee and some lively conversation on topics affecting marriage and family life on At Home with Jim and Joy, Monday and Thursday afternoons at 2 Eastern. The Journey Home with Marcus Grodi, now in its 21st season, a new episode every Monday night at 8 Eastern. We'll also continue to air the best of The Journey Home during the week. Inspiring, powerful conversion stories, Marcus's guests reveal what led them home to the Catholic Church. Sunday night on EWTN would not be Sunday night without Sunday Night Prime. Father Andrew Apostoli returns in the host seat. Likewise, our resident Bible scholar, Father Mitch Pacwa, leads thought-provoking discussions on church documents and papal encyclicals on Threshold of Hope. And of course, he'll still be hosting guests from around the world and taking your calls every Wednesday evening on EWTN Live. Janet Benkovic continues to unpack the treasures of being a woman and the beauty of femininity in new episodes of Women of Grace. Mother's shows have affected so many people's lives over these many years and will always be a part of our programming lineup. The best of Mother Angelica Live every weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Mother shares her timeless advice and counsel with old friends and a whole new generation. Theology Roundtable features Colin Donovan, EWTN staff theologians, and guest priests as they drill down into the core meaning of church teaching on a wide range of social and moral issues. Saints vs. Scoundrels is back with more lively debates between the most interesting and influential saints and sinners of all time.
Saints vs. Scoundrels, we hope, does one thing very well. It makes the audience reflect on the nature of truth. It doesn't just drop down from the sky. Human beings have to wrestle with it. And that wrestling may turn out well or badly, and everything depends on that outcome. We have our episodes in pairs, and by the time you get done with the second episode, you will have something deep to chew on. That is, you'll know more about people that you've heard of probably, but haven't really met. And you will understand the basics of what they held. And that is a good teaching tool. It makes us understand what it really means for human beings who are truth-seeking creatures, either to hit the mark or miss it. So that's what we want them at the end to say, it really does matter what you think. What's especially a wonderful aspect I like about the show is we are able to bring people together through the magic of our ability to disregard the aspects of time. We can bring somebody like St. Augustine and Jean-Jacques Rousseau together. We can bring somebody like Machiavelli, along with St. Francis. We can bring people together that never met and ask that question, what would happen if they had? Because here are two real personalities. Here are two real people whose ideas and whose life influence millions and millions of other people. We engage in a little imaginative exercise of having them come and meet with me and meet each other. And from that, we ask, well, what might have happened if we could have, for example, Pope Paul VI meet Margaret Sanger? Could she have been changed? Could he have had that effect on her? And if so, would that have changed history? We are allowed to play with history a little, but I think it makes us able to think more deeply about history, about truth and falsity, and about what it means to be a saint or a scoundrel.
EWTN continues to bring you award-winning animated series and children's programs that help you pass on our Catholic faith. My Time with Jesus, this animated series features 4 children who imagine themselves into various gospel stories while learning the teachings and traditions of the Catholic faith along the way. Hermie and Friends, Bug Time Adventures, and Cat Chat are back, and look for new episodes of Tompkin, the EWTN original with Catholic lessons and stories made just for kids. My Catholic Family and the Roman Catholic return for another season. Plus, look for an all-new EWTN series with the Donut Man.
Here you go. Ah, you did it. Good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. Hey, everybody. It's time to get ready for the show.
I believe that God loves me. Yes, I believe, and all of His blessings I will see. Like Abraham, I believe.
Thanks to you, we're able to bring you great Catholic programming, Catholic news, and information, as well as spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, the truth. Thanks to you, EWTN is everywhere. For more information about anything EWTN, log on to EWTN.com. I'm Doug Keck, and thank you for joining us.